Men of Reddit, what is the hardest thing to explain to a woman? I had to tell my ex-wife that I had erectile dysfunction. I had gone to the doctors that day because we have had complications while having sex for the last few months. I was extremely shocked to hear I had addition. Now I'll say this, for my wife, sex was one of the main reasons she was in the marriage. She had, and I'm sure she still does, a very high libido, and we would have sex upwards of 3 times a week. When I got back home I told her I needed to speak with her about something. She asked what was it, and then I told her I had erectile dysfunction. She then started to cry, and when I tried to comfort her she got extremely pissed, slapped me and yelled at me that she wanted a divorce. And so we went through with it. However, since then I've gotten treatment and I can still get a hard on. And not only that, I'm happily married once again with 2 children. Either A, that we too have feelings and need companionship, or B, why I have a boner at her grandma's funeral. I was at her grandma's funeral and there was a hottie in a casket and I couldn't help it. Enough Reddit for today. You can get a boner while shopping for guns with your buddy, and it isn't weird unless you're touching each other, according to the alphabet of manliness anyways. If we are talking serious, then it's how difficult it is for guys to break out of the real men don't talk about feelings bubble. It's not a case of just talk to me. Most of us are conditioned to bottle things up until it explodes and we break a bone doing something stupid. We can work on it, deal with it, but it's a process and it's really difficult to even talk about because there's always a voice inside somewhere telling you that it makes you weak, even with the self-awareness that you know it's bullshit. It's hard for me to express myself. IDKY. This is what is difficult for me and my boyfriend. Whenever I ask him what's wrong or what he's thinking, he always responds with nothing. But then he'll go and explode on me and finally start telling me things that should have been talked about years or months ago. It also really sucks when I keep telling him that it's okay to talk to me, that it's healthy to talk it out, that I want to know what he's thinking or feeling, and he still doesn't do it. He's also the type to go and do his own thing to feel better and then come back like nothing's wrong. What do we women do when our guy is like this? The mystery of how a duck works and feels. Why I'm hard. That I just want to stay in and chill this weekend after a stressful week at work. Why is it hard, and why is it not getting hard? The hardest thing I ever had to explain is that if you act distant, I'm going to try help resolve whatever is causing that. Telling me nothing is wrong and then starting a fight when I'm trying to cuddle and sleep is the wrong time to try and resolve that conflict, especially when it is something that shouldn't reflect our relationship. Hints don't work. Just tell us what's up. My very dense friend was flirting all night with a girl, and at the end of the evening she invited him back to her place. He said no thanks, I actually have a place to live, and left. 3 days later he sat up in bed and realized she probably wasn't inviting him to stay BC. She thought he was homeless. Man. Sometimes being straightforward doesn't even work. It doesn't hurt the balls, but the entire lower hemisphere. Something that has sadly been very relevant to me recently. When I tell you that I go for walks and drives to clear my head, that does not mean that I hate or despise you. I can't sit and watch TV mindlessly. I need to be engaged in something to kinda open up the channel for everything to flow through it again. However, I'm well aware of a sad reality where guys use this as means to go and cheat on their good ladies. Thankfully, once people get to know me, they know I'm a big car guy / love walks and hikes. Just because I don't have tears running down my face doesn't mean I'm not as sad as you. So true. Lost my job yesterday from COVID. I loved the job and most of the crew. My girlfriend was crying asking why she's more upset than me. I just don't like crying unless I'm truly as sad as I could be. At that time I was just accepting the reality and thinking of what to do next. I was still extremely sad. When I talk about my feelings I want to be heard, understood, and something to change. When we fight about my feelings it only makes me repress those feelings. Bro, my mom does this to me all the time when I wanna complain about something or vent about my life. When I was your age I went through all the same stuff. Well, if you have done this instead, that wouldn't have happened. It's like everything I think and feel is invalid because other people have been through it, or I could have made other decisions. Sweet lady who loves me to death, but I normally just end the conversation when she does this. What having sticky sweaty balls feels like, but not being able to do anything about it. Why are you walking like that? Because my balls are plastered to my leg. We are not afraid of marriage. We are afraid of divorce. Similarly, I'm not afraid of getting into relationship. I'm not even afraid of asking someone out and getting rejected. I'm afraid of being in the relationship for a long time and getting invested and then getting dumped. 5 years single since my first and last relationship went poorly, and it doesn't look like I'll be ready for another relationship anytime soon in the next few years. How I can spend the entire weekend fishing with my buddy and still not know that his wife died. We are not big talkers. I can literally be sitting there and think about nothing. When she asks what I'm thinking about, I say nothing. But she doesn't believe me. In a guy's brain there is a nothing box. On the flip side, if I say nothing, it usually means nothing important. At least nothing I want to spend 10 minutes explaining why I was thinking of it to provide context. This is because the follow-up question is inevitably, okay, why were you thinking of that? Well, dear, my thoughts are a continuous stream of consciousness rambling along by themselves with odd interjections of background noises, old memories, daydreams, past nightmares, and who the fuck knows what else, and they just happen to be interrupted by you. When I was wondering why cats' skin color patterns don't match their hair color patterns,